my food to eat.
G'day guys, welcome to Food to Eat. We've come down to Meredith Dairy. I've got here Rugby Wilson. Hello mate, how you going?
Yeah, Tim. Welcome to Meredith Dairy.
Yeah, thanks very much mate. Now tell me about these wonderful goats you've breeding.
Okay, well these goats are lactating or milking.
Right.
In the dairy world we call that lactating.
Yeah.
And they are they're a dairy breed.
Yes.
There's 3 different breeds in here.
Right,
This one
right.
here, these white goats.
Yeah.
They're Saanen goats.
Saanen goats.
And they're a French goat.
Right.
Okay. When people think of a milking goat, they generally think of Saanen goat.
Yeah.
The white goats.
Yes.
But we do have some different ones here. This girl here, she's a British Alpine.
Okay.
Very friendly.
Yeah, they're beautiful creatures. And what other what's the brown one?
That's a Toggenburg.
Toggenburg.
Yeah,
Okay,
we've
right.
got some brown ones over the back here you can see as well. And they're a Swiss breed.
4,000 acres with 4,000 goats.
Yeah, 4,000
Wow.
sheep.
That's amazing, isn't it?
And we also crop as well.
Yeah,
Cropping
yeah.
program.
Now, it's interesting, you were telling me before the environmental things you do down here.
Yes. So we do what we call sustainable farming.
Okay, right.
And it's a fairly broad term, but to put it in a nutshell, it means that you leave the property or the land in a better state than you inherited.
Right, yeah.
So we've done a lot of tree planting on the farm.
Yeah.
We've changed the way we actually grow crops. It's all about returning biomass to the soil.
Okay. And as far as power goes in your factory, what sort of process do you do there?
So we went early on. We went to having alternative energy systems.
Okay.
And we obviously cheese factories and dairies have a high energy requirement.
Yeah.
So we went to minimising energy, using renewable energy.
It's getting quite funny.
Yeah. So we installed a biodiesel generator
Okay.
here, and the power for the cheese factory and this dairy here is generated by biodiesel.
Okay.
In a normal year, 25 hectares of oil seed would be enough to give us the fuel for 12 months.
Wow. So where are we coming here now, Rugby?
So Bevan, this is the kidding shed.
Oh yeah.
Where we've got the kids. Each got one
Yeah, they're
here.
gorgeous.
This is a little Toggenburg,
Okay.
and that's a little Saanen
Yep.
we've got there. Now these are about a month old. They were born in mid-July, mid-June. Sorry.
Mid-June,
Yeah. So we kidded in June, and these ones here were behind us are older. They were born in March.
Okay. How long do they take before they get to a milking stage?
This really two years old.
2 years old. Okay. Yeah. And how many kids would you have a year? Do you think?
Well, we would probably have around 2,000.
2,000.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yep. And some of them are boy kids, of course.
Yeah.
And they go out as lawn mowers and
fantastic.
as pets for people.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've got a regular train of people coming out here and buying them.
Yeah.
Just all word of mouth.
Yeah. That's great, isn't it? I think that's also, I suppose, part of sustainable farming, isn't it?
Yes,
Treating
it is.
the animal correctly.
Yeah, animal welfare is a big thing here. I mean, you've got a vested interest in the good animal welfare practices.
Yeah.
A good farmer is a farmer who looks after them.
Yeah, that's all. It's the bread and butter, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And as before we talked about sustainability, the first thing you've got to do is economically sustainable.
Okay.
Because you can't be environmentally sustainable if you can't afford to be. It's an open top pasteuriser because it literally does have an open top.
Yeah.
This is got a jacket inside of here, and that means that on the outside here, the hot water or to heat the milk up flows around the outside.
Does that get a constant temperature?
It raises it to the temperature that's required. So pasteurisation is temperature and time, basically.
Right, yeah.
So the lower the temperature, the longer the time. The higher the temperature, the shorter the time.
So not only does Meredith produce their world famous goat's cheese, but they also produce natural pot set sheep's yogurt. So when you see the milk come in from any one of their 4 dairies, it's hard to believe that that milk is made into their cheese products within 24 hours. That's how fresh it actually is. Now, when we turned up in the wind and rain early this morning, a truck had just left with 16 pallets of cheese. This is a huge facility, using Australian products and exporting worldwide. So back to the cheese. So the milk has been pasteurised and turned into cheese. Well, now it has to be drained and left overnight. Now it's then put back into a cheesecloth where all the whey can be drained from it to get to its required consistency. So salt's added at this stage, as that acts as the cheese's major preservative. This is also the time that flavourings like chives can be added. Now let's get into it. Let's give this day-old goat's curd a crack. Oh, that is amazing. Now, to make this awesome cheese, is there anything else uniquely different about the factory that we should know about?
Right.
So we have a big filtration system around the side there where it filters the air and pumps it into the factory.
Yes.
So when you open a door, air is pushing out of the factory.
Oh, okay.
So literally airborne pathogens
Yes.
can't come in.
Moo.